come on and talk with you guys about real estate. We typically have some questions here about what is involved in the real estate process. How can I get started? Can I invest? My family needs help. My mom needs to sell her place. We have probate situations where someone has passed away, a loved one. So I deal with almost any and everything related to real estate. If you want to invest for income purposes as well too, or rehabs or flips, contract sales for those who are not able to go ahead and purchase through a regular source, normally a lender or mortgage banker. And also to when you need to sell a property out of state. I have sold a property in Florida or assisted in that matter. Also in Phoenix, Chicago, a couple other places here in Iowa that are not local. And so basically, it doesn't matter what the scenario is, help to anyone is available. Just contact me and let me know the scenario. We will make sure you get to the right source. Even if it involves something commercial related. I've done commercial property sales. I've also on both sides, selling and purchasing, and also worked with other realtors in that scenario. So I wanted to come on today to briefly talk with you guys about real estate, what's involved. If you have any questions, contact me. If it's on the replay, you can reach out to me by Messenger, or you can reach out to me here. Let me put the number here in the chat. Give me just a second here. So this is the number to reach me, 515-489-4252. Again, 515-489-4252. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and update that there. Bear with me just 1 second. Okay, so you see that number on the screen. You can call that number as well to schedule appointments. Also, you can reach me on Facebook to schedule appointments as well on my page, Natasha Ratliff Real Estate. So it is tea time. I do have my tea bag. So if you guys are interested in what I'm drinking, this is the name of it. Oops, there it is. So it's yogi teas. I learned that trick through the green smoothie diet. We are always trying to find ways to lose weight, right? So detox tea has been helpful for me. It's helped me shed some pounds, get under a certain weight goal. Still got a little bit more to go. I'm not going to be so over ambitious and say I've achieved everything, but I do still have some weight loss to shed. So I'm working on it. I'm working on it, getting my exercise in. But I live, breathe, and eat real estate, literally. So most times you'll find me either connected or working on something or program or showing, etc. Now, a couple of things I want to talk about. Get a quick drink. So you are a first-time home buyer and you want to purchase real estate. The first thing you want to do is itemize what you can afford. So often we'll start out in the process and you say, well, we can afford $1,000, $1,200. When you start adding all the fees or association fees, then you may have to adjust and tweak your budget. So figure out, is it based on the amount that you currently rent for right now? Is it based on the amount that you want to move up to because certain things have been paid off? So then you want to factor what you can afford, and then we take it from there. Now, based on the market right now, the interest rate is super low. I've had clients where they were able to afford a purchase now than they weren't a couple of months ago or 2 years ago. Um, right now, the rates are floating somewhere between a 2.5 and a 2.8, which is average for most people. Anything under 3, honestly, is a good deal. Last year, we were just at 3 was the best that you can get. Then 4 to 5 was average. So now people are getting anything from 2.3, 2.25, 2.8. The list goes on. It's all dependent on how much money you have saved. It depends on how much you have in debt, how much you make a year, how much you can afford monthly with all your other expenses. And also it depends on your credit score. So let's talk about that for a second. So credit score has changed drastically over this COVID-19 process. We started with 640 was about the norm to get any type of assistance. Now some lenders that I work with, they're able to get you at 620. However, your interest rate will be slightly higher, somewhere around the 3% range, 3.3, 3.5, 3.8. There are other lenders that I work with that do 100% financing. You have to have at least a 680 to get 100% financing, or they can work with you on a 3% option down payment, no PMI in both cases, which is a huge savings. That's going to save you about $150, $170 a month, depending on your purchase price. And that qualification for the 3% is around the 640. Okay, so you do want to work on the credit. There are credit repair programs available. There are people I can suggest or recommend you to. The lenders also do a good job about telling you exactly, this is what you have on your credit right now. This is what you need to eliminate. And moving forward, if you were to pay off 1, 2, 3, 4 items, this is what you can potentially qualify for. So that is the plan and the strategy that you want to complete. Once you pay those things off, down, or whatever is recommended in your particular situation, then you want to go ahead and find out now, how much can I purchase? So before you stalk Zillow or Realtor.com, find out exactly what it is that you can start with, because your eyes may be real big and you're over at the 200 price point, and honestly, after everything is said and done, you're closer to 150,000. But your budget, what you've allotted, is closer to 130,000. So it depends on different levels. I only say casually look in some of those areas so you can say, you know, for what I really need, I need to save more money, I need to pay down more debt, and I actually bump up my price point. So then after that point, you can confidently say, I know I need to pay this much amount of money each month because I want these things in the house. And once you've identified those things, that's when we want to fill out the lender applications, determine what you can afford by their standards, what you need, what's the current interest rate, because interest rate and taxes really impact your monthly payment. All of that is included in your monthly payment. So you want to find out, what do the resources say. Once you do, then continue to move forward to the next phase. And now we are approved, pre-qualified. I'm ready to shop for a house. I got my marching papers. Now we can go ahead, take a look at what's available on the market. The market right now is moving so fast. You can put a house on the market today and possibly it will be gone in a couple hours. No telling, in a couple of days, and definitely the way the market. So if you are 3 to 6 months out, this isn't the time to shop for homes by going to showings. This is the time to just estimate where you are in the purchasing process, glancerealtor.com, Zillow.com, and then once you get your approval or pre-qualification, that's when you know, now I can go ahead and start looking at houses because my situation may change in 3 to 6 months. If you move sooner, of course, obviously, we can go ahead and start sooner. So I just wanted to put that out there that the market is moving so fast that you may not have time to keep the house that you fell in love with on the internet by the time that you do all that's necessary to be qualified. So now, how do you get qualified? After you talk to the lender, they give you the plan. Most of it has to do with paying down debt. And just to give you a couple of quick credit scenarios, as I freely share, just because I've been through it myself. I don't recommend and tell people anything that I haven't yet experienced through myself or through clients. So improving your credit score can be easier. One, if you have credit cards, pay your credit cards down to 50%. Once you get them down to 50%, try to pay them down to 30%. After you get them down to 30%, try to clear your minimal balances so that your score can go up. Keep that account open. I don't know how many times, and it frustrates me for the buyer because they've listened to someone that told them to close their account after they paid it off. The worst mistake ever. Most times because your credit score is now going to go down instead of up, causing you more time to bring it up in order to qualify for a loan. So keep the account open. If it's a revolving account, go ahead and charge another $10 or $20 and then pay it down and continue that cycle so that you constantly report good credit behavior. So not only are you no longer at your limits, you've also been paying on time and your balances are really, really low. So those are the steps on the credit. If you have an installment account, your payments, your monthly payments really don't change. You just are getting that much closer to having less debt. So the more that you can make an extra payment towards the principal on that loan, or you want to pay that car off sooner, make a double payment each month or a triple payment, or just pay a lump sum of what you can afford if you get an extra flow of cash. I know we really don't have those much these days, but if you do, if you have a good windfall of cash come, that's what you can do to help pay the debt down. All right, now, while you're paying down your debt, also continue to save. So I paid down my debt, I paid my payments on time, I'm making my savings part of that. So most times the banks want to see at least a couple of months of what your anticipated payment would be. If you are purchasing a typical first-time home buyer home, it's somewhere in the price point of 150 to 200,000 these days. So for the average family who needs 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms in an area somewhere on the nicer parts of Des Moines or out in the suburban areas, your Clive, your Urbandale, your West Des Moines, then that's pretty much your price range. Or you want a nice or townhome or new construction townhome. So what you want to do is save somewhere in the vicinity of $5,000 to $9,000 if that's your price range. At the same time, we want to qualify for as much down payment assistance money as possible. There is a trade-off with down payment assistance. So sometimes you do get that extra $5,000. However, your interest rate, should you qualify for a lower one, is only going to be what that down payment assistance qualifies you for, which is typically 2.8 to 3.2, somewhere in that range right now. But if you're like many who have really worked hard on your credit, you paid it down, you want all the benefits possible, it may be more advantageous for you to actually save the money, have your down payment ready. We'll work on the seller side to help pay for your closing costs. And then you go ahead and take advantage of the lowest interest rate possible, which right now are 2.25 or 2.3. When you add it all up, is it worth getting the down payment assistance, which is $5,000 to maybe $8,000 in some cases? Is it worth getting that to pay a higher interest rate when you qualify for a lower interest rate if you just bring your own deposit. So that 5,000 with a higher interest rate over a period of 30 years is going to cost you $54,000. So it has to determine what's more important for you right now. Is it more important that I get the assistance because I want to move right now? I don't have all the down payment available, and I'll worry about the interest later, whether through prepay or I will just go ahead and refinance. Or you say, you know what, I've been diligent, I've been saving my money, so I want all the benefits, I want the lower interest rate. It just depends on what's more important to you today. Okay, so we talked about credit, how you can reduce it. We talked about down payment assistance, what is better for you. And what happens is basically they give you a credit for 5,000. There's so much credit for taxes, so much seller credit that you give. So at the end of the day, when it comes to closing, you either have to pay a small amount or you actually will pay nothing, or you might actually get money back. It just depends. Now, money back is always nice. However, there's certain scenarios when that applies, and there's others where you just pay a smaller amount at closing. Either way, it's a win-win situation for you and your circumstances. So, what we do on purchasing, we get everything ready for you. We continue, you identify what your needs are, and we work with the lenders to give you the best rate, the best assistance program. We work with the closers for closing, and from there, you are ready to purchase your home. Your closing date comes, sign on the dotted line, and you're like, now what's next? Other than moving the boxes and sorting and separating everything. So from that, it just really comes with home maintenance. You know, did you need a warranty when you purchase your home because you may need to replace appliances at a certain point or mechanicals at a certain point? So all those things are important through the process. And we do our door depending on the house, whether it's new construction, we get a builder's warranty. If it's a resale home, meaning someone else has lived in it before you, then we go ahead and ask them for a warranty to protect you in the event that this is your first home. We want to make sure that if there are surprises, if something should come up, you have a little bit of help available to check the house out, replace the appliances if necessary, if a repair won't fix it. So we go through all that in the process and really kind of to what you need at the house that you fell in love with. Allow me so I won't overwhelm you with so much. But finding a home that you love is important. I'll tell you a quick story. I went back to a couple of homeowners that it was their yearly anniversary, and I visited the home, brought them a special gift, and I said, wow, I'm really amazed at how much you've done with the place, how you've personalized it to make it your home. And it was just a refreshing feeling for me that they really love this house, not just because it was the best one at the moment, but when the doubt set in, we discussed it. When they had concerns about certain things, we dealt with it. And at the end, it was the best choice for them. So when you think about the house that you want, it's an investment. I mean, these houses are $150,000, $200,000, $300,000, $500,000. So I hope you love it. It's not just a drop in the bucket. It's a sincere investment. So it's important that you do the due diligence. You go by the property when you're searching. You go by the property, check out the neighborhood. Is this a place where I want to raise my kids or grandkids? Is this a neighborhood where I feel safe and comfortable for them to play outside, where I'm not having to watch their every move? Is it a place where I feel comfortable with my belongings and my important items, such as my cars and vehicles and anything else? Also, for especially the single family, single moms out there, I should say, and dads, Is there child molesters close by the property in the same proximity? Those are some of the things that we don't necessarily think about at the time of purchasing, but it is something that is important. Does the person who lived next door to me, do they have a junkyard for a front yard or backyard? Um, all those things. If a dog is irritating for you, does the neighbor own a dog? Now, those things can change. However, at the time, doing the best that you can for your due diligence. So it was rewarding for me to find out how much love and time that they've invested for the house. And when I asked, are they glad that they made this choice? And they said, absolutely yes. Um, and that's really all that a realtor wants for you, at least a good one, and myself included. We just really want to make sure that you love your home, you appreciate the assistance that we can give to make sure that this is the best choice for you and your family. And at any time, if you need help to actually get started in the process, or you've already purchased your personal home, but now you want to actually go ahead and purchase investment properties or income potential properties or flips, you can reach out to me and we can set a timeline so that we can work on those things. It doesn't have to be immediate. I have worked with a person for 4 years and they are finding that perfect home for them because they're not in a rush. I've worked with people for 2 years when they've gone later. They've done everything we talked about, got the credit down to the point where they're offering them the best rate possible. They have no down payment, and they're getting a brand new construction home. And they said, Tasha, I learned everything from you and the lender that you had present at this seminar 2 years ago, to the point where we know how beneficial it was, that it worked for us. We're sharing those tips with other people. So as much as you can repurpose, you can put to use the information that I shared today, and contact me for your personal scenario so we can help you with that. Please share this information with others as you find it helpful for yourself. So with that being said, my tea time here today is done. I will contact you and share my next live event that we have available. And please watch this information because a lot of nuggets were shared here today. And so we want to make sure that if you can't digest everything at one time, go back, repeat the session, take notes, start applying it right away. Start applying it right away because we don't know what's going to happen when this election comes through. So we don't know if the market is going to change. We don't know if the interest rates are going to change. It might go up. It might go down. Everything is unpredictable. Tomorrow is unpredictable. So don't wait until tomorrow. Don't put it off from today. Start right away. Be effective, implement, put a plan together. Contact me, 515-489-4252, or you can also message me on Facebook or Messenger. And feel free to contact me with any questions. Thanks so much. This is Tea Time for Tasha. Have a great day.